Yeah.
So I encourage you guys to start being aware of which wolf you're feeding, and you always are, period. So if whether you're conscious of it or not, now that's another thing. And so the trick is any shift, any big giant shift we want to make, it comes from small, consistent moments of awareness. So if I want something to change in my life, all I need to really focus on, it doesn't need to be hard. And I hear people say this all the time. They make excuses for they don't have the money or the time or it's hard. Stop saying that, because that is your story. And instead realize that it's not hard. And as soon as you tell your mind something's hard or something's impossible, you just shut a door. And so you just made limitations. You did. So if you don't want limitation and you don't want to play small anymore, then you have to stop saying things and doing things that create smallness. So instead, you need to imagine opening the moonroof of your mind to vast consciousness, and every moment you catch yourself having a small thought, you catch it with awareness and go, ooh, interesting. Like I was totally just thinking about lack. Okay, I'm not wanting that anymore, so what am I going to choose? I'm going to focus on the abundance. Thank you, angels. Yes, there's $50 in my bank account. Kind of freaking out about that, but I am excited and eager to see how the universe is going to supply my need. I am calling forth an extra $500. Thank you for surprising me. Thank you for bringing in ways that I love. Thank you for clearing away all the obstacles that could be causing me to not receive the abundance that I so deeply and gratefully deserve. So we start to clear away the obstacles through our intention, and we start focusing on what we're ready for. So every day for a week, maybe we're in meditation and we're just opening up and calling in what we're ready for instead of focusing on what we're afraid of. And that takes simple awareness. It is not hard, but it is consistent conscious awareness. And that is maybe just going to be something that's new. So instead of you becoming unconscious, fearful, frantic, egoic creators, which are creating destruction and lack and overconsumption, when I see people overeating, overtaking, analyzing, over anything, they're over consuming because they're in fearful, frantic ego creation, period. When we are more balanced and centered, we're not in a rush. We're not in a race. We don't need to take that girl out to get there first. We don't try to hurt people to get what we want. We don't go and gossip and try to terrorize people. We don't try to just be corrupt and get our way there to the top no matter what it takes. That is the fearful, frantic ego creation. When we're consciously creating, we may move more slow and steady, but it's interesting because in my life, I move more slow and steady with that focus, and I save time. I get places quicker and more efficient because I listen to my inner guidance and my angels guiding me, and I listen and trust them, and I take the action, and I manifest things faster than seems logically possible. And people that are in my movie know it, and they watch it, and some of them watch closely, and their lives have also shifted. I've seen some of the people that have worked with me as a soul coach and have done auric clearings with me completely change their lives around, and they are very abundantly blessed and living in greater harmony. But then there's also some that come in and they don't do their work, which is the consistent awareness, and they still are just frantically, fearfully creating from ego. And they talk about it, and their ego causes them suffering, and they don't really show honor to people. They don't really love and honor themselves. And this is one way we can live. That is one wolf we can feed. But I would encourage you to all consciously start to choose to feed the other wolf and watch how the world becomes more beautiful, more shiny, more radiant, more healthy, more balanced. And each of us have the power to manifest that. And all of our thoughts collectively are creating it right now, whether you want to believe it or not. So some of you are unconsciously creating from your fears and you don't really want to be aware, but you're still helping with that wolf being fed. And some of you are consciously creating by your consistent focus, your meditations, and by your loving, generous, honorable actions. You are creating in that vibration. And it matters. All of your contributions matter to what we are manifesting here on planet Earth. All of you are helping with that. Whether, like I said, whether you're giving it to this wolf or that wolf, that is where we all have power. And so we can't make Like, as much as I understand it's good to feed the wolf of light and hope, I know that, and I'm doing that, but I may have a bunch of people around me that are not. I can't, if I let that distract me and then I'm not doing what I need to do, I've also failed, and now I am feeding the wrong wolf. So I don't care how spiritually aware you say you are, it all comes down to your focus and your alignment with that giving to the correct wolf. And so start really being conscious of that and realize the more you can do that, you can be that shift, you can be that change, you can live and move and walk in that alignment, living a spirit-led life. You will actually inspire others to do the same. And you can't make them, but you can show them how. You can be and emulate that. Like Christ emulated that. He emulated what it's like to trust that greatly and to live with that alignment, with that integrity. And another great song on Lauryn Hill's album of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is Father, Forgive Them, for They Know Not What They Do. Such an amazing song. That's like, I would say, a mantra for me in my life, is to live in the world but not be of the world, and to forgive them, for they know not what they do. So there may be people that have been so tactless and not very loving or honorable to me, and I've been nothing but loving, but it's just forgive them, for they know not what they do. Don't let that actually distract you to losing your own alignment. Keep in your alignment of love. Maybe you do start to discern certain people you just don't let into your sacred space anymore, and that's okay. But don't go into an angry place where you're negative, you're ranting, you're raving, and then you're actually creating sickness in your own body. So really start to see how the dots connect in vibrational alignment, and how we giving to people who are actually helping the world be better, that helps it. If I'm wanting to fuel, let's say, like, how many of you have maybe made a donation to something, like to go into some rave and you're given $10 to go into a bar, or you go to like a strip club and you're spending like $200 on strip club. You go and you buy your cigarettes and you go out drinking and you all get drunk. And how many of you contribute to that? No problem. Don't even need to think twice about that. And how many of you actually have thought, let me send in a love offering to Tanya Love for her show, for what she does every week. Let me send in a love offering to this person in my community that's helping clean up the parks. Let me go give a love offering to this organization that's actually doing a lot to help clean the water. These are the people doing that work to help feed the correct wolf. But some of us, we're real stingy and tight with our money when it comes to giving to them. Why is that? Something to contemplate. So I just encourage each of you to really think of how I can be more generous and how I can be more supportive to those who are actually making a difference, and how I can myself be that change of that difference, that shift on this planet, and feed the right wolf instead of feeding the wolf of fear and despair. That makes me go and live in that way. When I'm focused there, I start wanting to get drunk, I want to get high, I want to check out, and it's sad to me because that is not necessary. But this is where the angels say you all have free will. If you remember what I read in the beginning of the show, that channeling, we each have free will. And the angels have not abandoned us, but many of you, that maybe not you guys listening, maybe more the ones that aren't even tuning into this, but many of you, when you're in your fear, you are abandoning your angels. You are abandoning the light. When you're in a room in your house, depressed and angry and fearful, you have abandoned the light. The light did not abandon you. So you have to choose that light. That's truth. So on that note, I was going to read you a card, but we're already 3 minutes over. So again, I'm going to remind you, if you want to do the webinars and things with me and Amnon, please send me an email, tanyaangel@gmail.com. You can go to my website right below the video and click on that and go in there and look at services and find all my info so you can get in touch with me. But let me know days and times that will work for you. And when we do this, show up. Like, that's helpful. So if I actually go to put this workshop out there and we do the event, show up and actually claim it. Some of the things coming up for those, I don't know, those that live locally, on the 7th next week, we're going to have an illumination night, a game night again with this really awesome game, Illumination, from 4 to 7. I have gentle yoga and Pilates classes on classes on Wednesday and Friday. So Pilates classes at 5:30, and then yoga on Wednesday at 6:30 to 8. And then the Empowering the Empath local, I have a training coming up, and there is room for a few people to Skype in. That is on the 15th. It's a Saturday from 4 to 7. And then the last Saturday of the month is our Sacred Soul Sister Circle from 5 to 8, and that is local as well. And I also have clients that have Skyped in for that. So if any of you want to be a part of these groups or you want more information, take the time, go on and follow me on Facebook right after the show under Tanya Love, and you can see events as I put them out there. So I want to wish you guys all the best in your manifestations. And what is that? Oh, I will talk to you on that. Yes, next week we're actually not going to have a live show, so I just wanted to give a heads up on that. My husband was just delivering that message. So we have an event we're going to. But if you guys watch next week, we will be putting another video up, and you can watch, or go under YouTube under Tanya Angel, and you can watch all the archive shows. So if you guys want to watch something else, just watch this one again. Watch to your heart's content. I would totally love it if you guys would share these videos with more people. Go follow us on YouTube and just share it with people. If you're on Facebook, share the videos, because it's helping spread this consciousness and helping get the help out there. And that's something that I very much appreciate. Anybody who would like to be an assistant, that helps us with our mission. So again, if you want to donate to the show, you can send me information in email, and I'll let you know how to do that. But we really are appreciative to those of you that have assisted. And for all of you as you're creating, I wish you all the best. And I hope you can remember to be still and remember that you are God and that you are amazing creators. Whether you're creating hell or heaven, now that's another question. So be mindful of your focal point. Thank you all for watching today, and have a blessed and beautiful day. Namaste.
You're tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Help In with Debbie Brooke, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCBBI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.